In this video I will show you how to multiply and divide degrees, minutes and seconds by a whole number. Whole numbers will be considered first and foremost because that's a format most job tasks are done with. Particularly with division, we will come across the problem of decimal degrees, converting degrees, minutes and seconds to decimal degrees and converting it back from decimal degrees to meaningful degrees, minutes and seconds. Once you have the degrees, minutes and seconds conversion to decimal degrees figured out, you should be able to proceed on and work out how to multiply an angle in degrees, minutes, seconds with another angle in degrees, minutes, seconds, actually with decimal degree conversion, and do the same in division. Let's get started with multiplication with a multiplication problem that doesn't need trading up. So you can see the mechanics of multiplication and how it looks like. Let's have this number multiplied by, I don't know, something low, like a 3 is nice. Now to do this multiplication, you have to have the seconds amount multiplied by that multiplier separately and write down the total. Have the minutes amount multiplied by that multiplier and write down the total here, and the degrees amount multiplied by the 3 again and have the total written down there, and see if there's any trading up is to be done. I hope there won't be any. Let's get started. 3 by 1 is 3, 3 by 3 is 9, and 3 by 8 is 24. We've got 2 decimal digits in the original problem, so the answer will also have 2 decimal digits. There, that's the answer, and it's not more than 60 seconds, so that's good. It doesn't need trading up. 3 by 7 is 21 minutes. That one doesn't need trading up either. 3 by 2 is 6, and 3 by 4 is 12. And neither of the amounts here need trading up. The final answer is 126 degrees, 21 minutes, and 24.93 seconds. Let's see how the same situation looks like on a calculator, and I'm going to be using this degrees, minutes and seconds button, which is let's just zoom in a little bit, which is here on a calculator. It says degrees, minutes and seconds on it. There, you can see it with a little circle between the D and the M. Okay, let's zoom out and let's do some math. 42 degrees, 7 minutes, 8.31 seconds multiplied by 3, and the moment of truth equals 126, 21, 24.9. Very good. Everything checks out here. That one, and that one. Now we have one extra digit, the 300th of a second, that the calculator doesn't have because it doesn't fit the display, and the calculator just rounds down. That's pretty good from a calculator. Now let's look at a multiplication problem that would need trading up. Let's see, say a skinny slice like a 6 degrees, 42 minutes and 51.98 seconds. How about we have to make 16 of these skinny slices, and 6 of these thin slices will be, I don't know, threads on a circular stair with 16 super small steps. Now we have the same procedure again. The seconds amount must be multiplied first, and the total generated from it. The minutes need to be multiplied by the multiplier here, 16, and the total generated from it, and the same procedure applies to the degrees amount. And the three totals must then be combined after trading up, and a final answer be formed that way. Let's start with this one here. 51.98 times 16. 1 times this amount is itself, so I'm not going to write it down again. 6 times 8 is 48, and I'm offsetting my digits one place value there, because the tens digits go further left and the ones digits go further right. 6 times 8 is 48. 4 carry over. 6 times 9 is 54. That's 58. And 5 left over. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5 is 11. And 1 carry over. 5 by 6 is 30 plus 1 is 31. Now we can add the amounts. And it is 0 plus 0 is 0. Sorry, 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 1 there, 9, 10, that's 11, and 1 more there, that's 3, and that's an 8. The problem has 2 decimals, so the answer will have 2 decimals as well. And we have 831 seconds in the answer, and it's obviously too many. We're gonna have to trade some of it into minutes. I'll show you how it's done. Let's multiply 42 minutes by 16, and 42 times 1 is itself. I'm not gonna write it down again. That represents 420. So 6 times 2 is 12. 1 carry over. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Add them up. Is 2 is 7. That's 672 minutes. Obviously, some of it will be traded up into degrees. And 6 times 16 is 6 times 10 is 60, and just there's invisible 0 there. 6 times 60 is 36. 36 plus 60, that's 96 degrees. So we have 96 degrees, 672 minutes, and 831.68 seconds. It's too many of minutes and seconds. Let's work with these seconds. We need to know how many minutes we can make out of it. We can make we have to divide it by 60, so 831 divided by 60. I'm ignoring the decimal digits because I just need to get the idea. Is 13 is a whole number. 13 plus there is some remainder there, so I'm just gonna write down 13 with a 13 plus a remainder. The 13 minutes is 13 times 60 seconds. We can make 30 minutes out of this. 13 times 60 seconds is 10 times 60 is 600. 3 times 60 is 180. Add them together as 780 seconds. We can take away from the 831 780 seconds, and at 780 seconds we'll trade up into the minutes, and we'll increase the minutes by 13, which should be added to the minutes amount. But before we do that, let's do this subtraction here. Decimal spot is saved in the same place. 68 take away nothing is 68. Now I'm gonna just count up instead of borrowing from 780, 790, 800, 810, 820, 830. That's 50 plus 1 more. That's 51.68 minutes and 13. Sorry, 51.68 seconds, and we traded so many seconds for 30 minutes. Let's add it to those ones. That's 6, that's 8, and that's a 5. So we have 685 minutes in total now, and we need to know how many degrees we can make out of it. It's the same procedure. 685, we have to know how many 60s we can take away from it, and to do that I'll just do it on a calculator quickly. 685 divided by 60 equals 11 with a plus a little remainder, and 11 minutes with 60 degrees each is that's 660 minutes. So we can take away from this amount 660 minutes, and that 660 minutes will trade up here as 11 degrees. That gets added to the 96 degrees. Let's do this subtraction. 660, let's count up. 670, 680, that's 20 there plus 5. 25 minutes. So that's the final answer. That's the final answer. And lastly, oopsie. And lastly, we have 6 plus 1 is 7. 9 plus 1 is 10. 107. So according to my calculations here, 6 degrees 42 minutes and 51.98 seconds multiplied by 16 is 107 degrees 25 minutes and 58.68 seconds. Let's see what the calculator has to say about that. 6 degrees 42 minutes 51.98 seconds multiplied by 16 equals, what do we have here? 107, that checks out. 25, check. And 51.68. I think we're more accurate than the calculator, because the calculator rounded up because it doesn't have one more digit for the 8/800th of a second there to be displayed. So that worked out well. Multiplication is done. Let's do division quickly. Let's get a number like 18 degrees 7 minutes and I don't know 31.58 seconds, and let's divide it into 15 parts. See how that goes. Again, the same procedure applies, that you have to take the second amount and divide it by the divisor and make a subtotal of it. Do the same with the minutes amount, divided by the divisor, write down the subtotal somewhere. Same with the degrees. The degrees must be divided as well with the same divisor and write down the subtotal. Let's start with the 18 degrees there. How about 18 degrees? I'm just gonna do short division here quickly. 18 divided by 15 is 1 with a remainder of 3. This is an 18.0 to be exact there. Come on in closer. There, that's nice and sharp. That's 30. 15 goes into 30 twice. So the answer is 1.2. 18 degrees divided by 15 is 1.2 degrees. Now, what the heck is just a 1.2 degree turn? We obviously have a decimal degree here that needs to be converted to degrees and minutes, and that's coming up. Let's do the 7 minutes. The same treatment for the 7 minutes. 7 divided by 15 equals, well, it doesn't go in, 15 doesn't go into 7, but it does so into 70. Place the decimal dot. It goes into 74 times. 4 times 15 is 60, so we have a remainder of 10 and drops down an invisible 0. 15 goes into 106 times. 6 times 15 is 90. So we have a remainder of 10 again, and it keeps going on forever. 0.46, 6 repeating is the answer to this one. 46, that one's repeating. So 7 minutes divided by 15 is 0.46 minutes. It is what it is. And lastly, the 31.58, I'm just gonna do it on a calculator. Divided by 15 is, just gonna write the result here, 2.1053. That's repeating seconds. There. So that's the answer. 15 degrees 7 minutes and 31.58 seconds divided by 15 is 1.2 degrees, 0.41 minutes and 2.1 seconds. Now we have to make sense out of this 1.2 degrees. 0.2 degrees is not, the 0.2 part is not 2 minutes. That's not happening. 0.2 is 1/5. Yes, 1/5 of a full degree. What amount is 1/5 to a full degree? Let's write it maybe in another format. 1 degree has 60 minutes. 60 minutes. And we need to know what is 2/10 of 60 minutes. We have 2/10 here of 60 minutes. And we can also write it in a decimal format, 0.2 times 60. The word of indicates again a multiplication. This connection to grammar and language is can be seen in other titles that I made. 0.2 times 60 is 2 by 6 is 12, plus the 0 from after the 60, and the answer has 1 decimal place because the multiplicand has 1 decimal place there. The answer is 12 minutes. 0.2 degrees is 12 minutes. Now, for the final answer here, that's 1 degree there and 12 minutes there. And 12 minutes is part of the final answer. To the 12 minutes, we have to add the whole number, if there's anything in the ones place value here, but there isn't anything. That's why the 12 degrees here or 12 minutes here is the final answer, and nothing is going to be added to it because there's a 0 there. Now what do we do with the 0.46? Just to give you a visual, 0.46 part of a minute is, how about if I just round it up for now, just to get you an idea, to 0.5. 0.5 minutes, half a minute, you know that half a minute is 30 seconds. So this is 0.46, and it is gonna be less than 30 seconds. 0.46 minutes is not 46 seconds. Just as 3/4 of an hour, which is 3/4 is 0.75 in decimals, 0.75 parts of an hour is not 75 minutes. It turns out to be 45 minutes. So the same principle applies. What is 46/100th of 60 minutes? Or, because it's repeating decimal there, 0.46 times 60 in decimal format. I'm gonna do it on a calculator because of the repeating decimal there, 0.46, and I'm gonna fill the display with it to get a good idea of the magnitude of the answer. Times 60. Just what I thought. 27.999996. The last digit the calculators internal logic and circuitry dictates that the last digit be rounded down or rounded up, and this is safe to say we can round it up by 1 millionth here or so to make it into 28 seconds. And I'm just gonna write down 28 seconds there, and this 28 seconds must be added to that number, so I'm gonna write it underneath 105.33 repeating, add them up. That's 30.105 with 3 repeating, that's a 105. So the answer is to the question, what is 18 degrees 7 minutes and 31.58 seconds divided by 15 is 1 degree 12 minutes and 30.1 seconds. Let's see what the calculator says about it. 18 degrees 7 minutes 31.58 seconds divided by 15 equals, yeah, we are looking good. 1 degree 12 minutes 30.105. Yep, we have an extra digit here which again doesn't fit the calculator's display, so calculator is working fine and our calculation is also fine. In the meanwhile, we also covered how to convert a decimal degree into degrees and minutes, or a decimal minute into minutes and seconds, although with this one we don't have any minutes, it's 0 minutes already. Let's see if we can do it backwards and convert degrees, minutes and seconds and make a decimal degree out of it. How about, I don't know, 3 degrees 15 minutes and 18.71 seconds, and let's make it into a decimal degree, from degrees, minutes, seconds to decimal degree. And there's also a button on the calculator that does just that, and it is right about there. It's the same button as the DMS button, and above it you can see that DEG button, it converts decimal degrees, that's what DEG stands for, decimal degrees, to degrees, minutes and seconds with a press of a button. And it's nice, and scientific calculators are cheap. But what happens if we don't have one on the job site? So 15 minutes is, if you visualize 15 minutes, you know that 15 is 15/60th part of a whole minute, of a whole degree. If there was 60 minutes here, 60, then 60/60th would convert into 1 degree. We don't have 60/60th, we have less than that, we have 15/60th. So 15/60th is what we have here, and we need to make a decimal out of it. And 15 divided by 60, we know that goes in 4 times, so that's 1/4, which is 0.25 for the final answer. 3 degrees must be added with 0.25, because 15 minutes is a quarter degree, just as 15 minutes is a quarter hour. And we have to do some more addition there. Now 18.71 seconds is 1/60th of a 1/60th. Not one, is 18.71/60th of a 60th. So how that looks like it fractions is that one and that one. When from fraction division, we know that these two numbers can be multiplied as a part of the procedure, and it turns into 18.71 divided by 3600. Because in each degree there is 60 of these and 60 of those, and 60 times 60 is 3600. So let's see what we have here. 18.71 divided by 3600, oh, too many zeros, 3600 equals that number. That number is part of the final answer and must be written down here. 0.00519722. 18.71 second is that part of a degree. It's a small part. It is, let's round it to 5,000th of a degree. Okay, 18.71 second is 5,000th of a degree. So let's add all of these decimals there. The 3, the 0.25, 3 plus 0.25 plus that number 0.00. 5197222 equals that number. Let's copy it down here as an answer. 3.255197222. You need 368. All of these 8 digits are significant digits, or sig-digs. All of the 8 digits are significant digits, because even the last little bit on the 100 millionth place value is part of the 100th of a second, and all of them are important. Let's see what happens if we enter the original degrees on a calculator. See what number we get with the second function DMS button. 3 degrees 15 minutes, 18.71. second function, and we have a little check bulb there, and then hit that button. We have 3.255, 3.255, 3.255, 197222, 197222. Yeah, we have one more 2's there that I forgot to copy from there. So all of the digits are there. My conversion works. All I can say is keep practicing until you are proficient with it.